now on the difference the congressman has made and how he's going to be missed. Detroit 2020 insider and Detroit Free Press editorial director Stephen Henderson joins us tonight. Stephen, thanks for coming into the studio.
Thanks for having me.
Always good to have you around.
We certainly appreciate you being in studio.
Good to see you in face.
Yes. Right? So you had quite a bit to say about Congressman John Dingell today and how he really doesn't belong in Washington anymore. Let me read something that you wrote. John Dingell is about governing a decidedly far-sighted principle. Washington is now obsessed with the nearsighted politics of winning and losing. So are you saying he's not too old, his politics are just different today?
I just think he doesn't fit in Washington. I mean, you think about the acrimony you see between both sides, the inability and unwillingness to compromise. John Dingell doesn't fit in that atmosphere. That's not how he learned to legislate, and that's not how he's been effective. So the time has sort of just passed him by in that way.
And even on one of the biggest pieces of legislation that he says has been his accomplishment, which is health care, he never really ended up getting what he was looking for. He just got little bits and pieces, mainly because of that acrimony.
Right, absolutely, and never got any Republican votes. I mean, one of the things that's true about John Dingell is that he has real friends across the aisle, and those aren't fake friendships, they aren't convenient friendships, but he can't get even his closest allies on that side to vote for anything that comes out of the Democratic ranks.
So is it time for new blood, a new name? I like Debbie Dingell. We all have seen her in the community, and I know she may run for a seat, but his father held it. He's held it for 58 years. If she holds it, I mean, is it time for a new name? Or?
Well, I think that's up to the voters, right? The voters in that district have been represented by a Dingell for 80 years, as you point out, and I think if you ask them, a lot of them would tell you how satisfied they are. This is a guy who's not just marking time in Congress. He's gotten a lot done, and he's delivered a lot of things to that district. You think of the clean water legislation, the parks that he's helped get them. I think if they look back, they can't complain about having been represented by John Dingell, Jr. or Sr. for all this time.
Now, it will be a loss, and I think the president today said it will be a loss for all of Michigan. And there's some truth in that, because you said he's been a very effective legislator in not just passing the big picture items, but also just taking care of his neighborhood.
Yes, that's right. I mean, if you look at the park land that he's been able to set aside, wetlands protection in downriver, that's a huge part of it. Think of the auto industry bailout that we had. That would not have happened if John Dingell had not been in Congress. And so this is a guy who really has taken care of Michigan for a long time.
Talk about some other names that might possibly come up in this race.
In the race to replace him, I think Rebecca Warren, who's a legislator from Ann Arbor. Ann Arbor was drawn back into this district in the last redistricting. It had been gone for a while. I think that's somebody who you could see take a look at this. It's a tough slog for her because she is an Ann Arbor name. She's not got as much name recognition downriver, but I think she could take a go at it.
Is it fair to say the Democratic leadership in Michigan has been ill-prepared for this eventuality?
Well, you talk about a bench, right? I think at either party you want to have people ready to step up into those starting roles when they come open. The Democratic Party has a lot of very senior legislators in Washington. You talk about Carl Levin and his brother, John Conyers, John Dingell, until last time Dale Kildee, who retired, and his nephew took that seat. They've had a harder time grooming the right people to be able to sort of compete for those seats when they come open, although they seem to be holding them. So we'll see.
Stephen Henderson, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much for being here again.
Thanks for having me.
And I know we're going to talk to you again.
Yes, I'll see you soon.